Go help Yeti coach a Spectacore in TFT. Dude, oh, can I talk about this real quick? We have a little bit of time. There's actually something very interesting brewing in TFT that I need to explain. This will be interesting even if you've never played TFT in your life. Let me see if I can explain it with fucking paint. Imagine on one side, you have a slot machine. Gamba, gamba, gamba. Ding, 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 ding. This is 100% pure gambling. This is just basically trying to addict your brain with pure dopamine. There's no skill involved. You are pulling it and it gives you a win or not. This can addict some people, actually a lot of people. You'll see dozens of old people in Vegas, penny slots, pulling their fucking life away. But in general, a lot of people can avoid this. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you have fucking StarCraft. And it's like some guy doing 10 million actions per minute. This is the spectrum, okay? This is a pure skill game. The audience for this is way bigger. This is a really big audience, okay? And this is a really small audience because it's very scary. It's too skill-based. Every loss requires you to practice. It's all your fault if you lose. The depth is so much there. There's really not a lot of luck or RNG. It's basically all skill. So what game developers try to do is find somewhere on this curve to where it's attractive enough and deep enough that people don't get bored. They don't churn out because they realize there's no skill at all. But you need a lot of RNG so you get this big audience and you get the addictive aspects. So they try to get like here or here or here or here or here. You know, they try to be somewhere around here. And games fall in different aspects of this. But this is sort of the curve between slot machine and skill. And that's why I always talk about with Stans how I think the best innovations in games lately have been slot machines with skill. And a really good one that has made a fuck ton of money for Riot is TFT, which I would say falls like somewhere around here, okay? TFT is kind of like poker in that there is a fuck ton of luck. It is a slot machine, but there's enough skill expression that you can be better than other players. You can feel yourself getting better, but you can also be kind of relaxed and still get lucky and bank it. So it's a kind of a perfect casual game, which has allowed them to make a lot of fucking money and not put a lot of dev resources in and just generally be a fucking great thing for Riot. People that churned out a league because it's a little more on the skill side can go relax over here, still have fun, still feel like they're learning something, but still have slot machine. That's the power of TFT, okay? This last set of TFT that just came out made a very interesting and I'm gonna say dangerous choice that is causing them a lot of headache, okay? The set of TFT that just came out decided to move the game, basically, I'm not kidding, like 2 notches this way. The new set of TFT is a little more skill and a little less slot, but like in a pretty drastic, noticeable way. I've played a lot of TFT over the years. If you really care about the game, this is one of the best sets they've ever had. Like the designers did a fucking amazing job of making it so you can't just open a guide, copy paste it and bink it. Like you have to learn how to like switch your comp and be a little better and learn. And the thing is, that is fucking scary. So I want to show you something. All right, so this is a guy who points out that in China, where there's a huge casual audience of this game, it's the lowest rated set ever. Like they have it at 3.2 and they're just pissed. And the reason is it requires very strong skills of competitive decision makings, including positioning, itemization, pivoting, chosen and augment. As he mentions, there's a lot of streamers, casual streamers of this game that just try to bink a really lucky, basically 3-star 5 cost, like ultimate unit. And like, they just fucking do that every game. Every single game, they just try to get a big moment where they get lucky and have fun. And they can't really do that anymore. And so they're losing all their games and it's bad for their audience and people are getting pissed. And so the developers did the best job ever in balancing it and they might lose money. It's a very interesting trade-off between the fact that like the average player doesn't necessarily want a good game. They want an excuse to play a slot machine. Like the real reason game developers add the skill part of this is just to make your brain think you're not playing a slot machine because people know slot machines are bad. So they can convince themselves how to do it. So it's a scary and interesting topic to me. It's a very interesting game design topic. And what's sad is like, so Bryce Plum, who's a guy I follow, his name is Esports Law. He used to be a very successful esports lawyer. He might still be, I don't know. But he actually loved TFT so much and played it so much that he basically, I think, quit that to become a full-time TFT caster and then pro player. He's like really fucking good. And he loves the game. And he says, I can see why casuals would be turned off to it. This set is super hard. But personally, I've been waiting for TFT to feel like this again for 1.5 years. And he says if they like turn it back to how it was last set 9, he might even quit. So now, like, Riot has opened up a real fucking, there's a real fucking rift now where it's like people have tasted the heaven of the gods. And so if next patch they go woo, way back here, these guys are gonna complain super hard. All of like the pro players and streamers, and they've opened the Pandora's box, which is really interesting. So from a game design POV, I don't know how they're gonna handle it, but I can already tell it's brewing because I noticed it immediately. I've played a fuck ton of TFT. The highest rank I ever got was Grandmaster in season 1, and then I've been pretty casual ever since. And when I played this new set, I could immediately tell this is harder. Like I couldn't just like be super lazy, click, 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 click. I had to think about what I was doing, and I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of hard. And so if you're a casual player who does not want to learn or get better or improve or learn how to scout, I can see you getting pretty frustrated. And I wonder how they're gonna handle that. I think it's so interesting. So maybe you have 2 different modes. Yeah, but then you split the player base and then there's less people in your ranks. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough thing to figure out. I'll be honest with you. But all I know is if what I expect is true, that player base, like they make the best set ever and the player base goes down and the money goes down, they're gonna have to have a real reckoning where it's like, okay, we had one of our shittiest sets ever in set 9 and it made us a ton of money. And then we had a great set and it lost us money. How do we square that circle? And I wonder what's gonna happen. I really wonder what's gonna happen. And I know it sucks to say this because I think we all want to live in a world where if you make the better product, you get more money. But gaming has been wrestling with this fact for a long time now that like, the closer you get to this, the more money you make. Like Genshin Impact figured out that if you actually can go right here on the curve, basically right above Slot Machine with a little bit of decoration and a little bit of fun and a tiny bit of skill, you can make gazillions. I mean, people like the new Call of Duty has this problem where they've made it more slot. That's what I've heard from people saying. They've made it more like a slot machine. Like it's basically like you jump in, you run around, you get kills no matter what. The way you spawn and everything, there's not a lot of games on this side of the curve anymore is what I'm saying. This side of the curve is pretty blank. This is where RTS games used to lie, you know? And like this, there's just not enough money in that. If something is balanced, you can't blame the game, only yourself, which, again, you have to understand, and I sympathize with this, most people, like 90% of people or more, maybe 99% of all players do not play a game to learn about themselves and improve. You know, they don't want, it's only to relax. 100% they want to get on and distract themselves from real life. They want to relax. They want it to flash some lights and give them a win or whatever. That's why they do it. And if you ignore that, or you're mad at that, or you want to fight against that as a game developer, it's a losing battle. So I don't know. It's just interesting to me. And I am a little sad about it because I really think the more I've played the new set, I'm like, man, this is they did a great job. Like the developers should be so proud of how they managed to make a game like TFT have skill because it has no mechanics. I mean, it's really impressive. And sorry, this graph has gotten really out of hand, but yeah, just very interesting to me. Why not just make a competitive mode? They have a ranked and a normal, but it's the same game. And the problem is even people playing normals, they can't like just autopilot. Even if you're in a normal game, you have to like look at what you're getting and adapt in the new TFT, which before you could literally open a guide on your second monitor, copy it from minute 1 and never think the whole time. And they got rid of that completely. And so it's just it's an entirely different game. Like this set is crazy. It's way better. Are you doing an ad for TFT right now? No, I'm not. I mean, if anything, I'm talking about how it's kind of sad they might have to make the game worse on purpose to make more money. I think it's interesting. I think it's fascinating to me. And I'm excited to see how they handle it.